Hello. Hold on. Hello. Uh, as I was finishing recording the last video explaining Lovetale, I realized that I completely forgot to do the 2 extra songs on Lovetale Deluxe. So I'm gonna do them now. Let's do this. This is not gonna be an hour-long video again. Okay, here we are. So, as I said in the previous video, if you watched all of it, which I know you haven't, you don't need to though. So, as I said in the previous video, the problem that occurred to me when I was making Lovetale was that I had this full track list planned and made, but I hadn't made all of the songs. And as I started losing interest in the project, I realized that I'm not going to finish all of these songs. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I released Lovetale with the songs that I had completed and sort of reworked it so that that worked. But then, a couple of months later, I was like, man, this would have been so much cooler if I had the full track list. Which, so I kind of met halfway and included 2 demo songs, a bit less polished, I think. They might sound the exact same, I don't know. But two smaller songs, or just 2 songs that weren't on the original Lovetale that I was making and then decided to scrap. So yeah. You'll notice on the track list that the titles of the songs are inverted from the original Lovetale. So here, say in Lovetale, we have the first track, Hello, and in Lovetale Deluxe, we have it as Goodbye. I just thought that would be fun. I was kind of thinking of, I forget which band it is, but like for all of their deluxe albums, they kind of like they invert the colors of the original album's cover art. So I was thinking, man, I should do that, but with the titles, because I couldn't invert the colors of the album cover in the software that I used to make it. So anyway, let's listen to the first extra song. I'm not going to have you listen to all of it again. Let's listen to the first extra song, which is called Change/Luminary of Mice. I really like mice. I wanted sort of like a slow feel, but I was also getting into songs that changed, like changed very suddenly into something very different. So yeah, I wanted that, which is also why it's titled Change. Yeah, I wanted that like drastic change. Like you're expecting one thing and then boom, it's just something completely different. Just completely different. I wanted like that shock value. And I also wanted like these big chords. So yeah, this is what I landed on. You can also hear me using those fast notes here. Here's me doing my build up. You hear that choir. I really like choir sounds, if that wasn't evident enough. whoops. So yeah, you can tell that I had listened to songs like Hurricane by Kanye, where like it has those big choirs that just like cuts off, and I thought that sounded epic, so I wanted to do that in one of my songs. So I pulled this like small like acoustic loop, and then I just added stuff of a completely different like feel. So yeah, like a completely different feel, so I could have that like drastic change. You'll notice also that song is less than 3 minutes, which if you watched my last video, you would know that that was like that was a big no for me when I was originally making Lovetale. I didn't want any of the songs to be less than 3 minutes. But when I was like when I was working with that demo, I realized that's stupid. That's so stupid. I don't want my songs to feel dragged out. So I just decided, man, this was meant to be a 2-minute, 24-second song. So be it. Anyway, the final song, titled "She Looked at Me, do I have, ... I wanted this song, at least in the title, to like hint at the first song in my next album, which is going to be called The Real Sickness. I already have it written, actually, on that. So I wanted to include in, like, do I have ... and then when you play the next album, it'll be called, the first song will be The Real Sickness. So it's sort of interconnected like that. So yeah. With this song also, I used, I really fell in love with this song by Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards called The Nothing. And it sort of had like this jazz-esque sort of feel to it with the chords and how it sounded. And I wanted to make it feel like that when listening to it. So I came up with this chord progression. I also wanted this song as like a finale song. I originally made it as the finale song, and then I decided to cut it because I couldn't find a way to finish it. So yeah, I wanted this one to be a finale song. So, hold on, let me turn on my keyboard. I already had it turned on for the last video, but I wasn't expecting to turn it on for this one too. Whoa. Okay. So, for like, to make sure that I referenced my other songs in this, I used that familiar not corporation. I used that familiar riff. I used that at the beginning to make it all feel like it's connected. I want it to feel like a cohesive project, not just like a bunch of songs. But for the chord progression, I wanted it to feel jazzy. So of course it had to be in C sharp major, so that it felt like we're sort of ending on the same note as the entire story was. So I started with C sharp major. Then I moved the first note, C sharp, down to a C. And I sort of had this B flat minor with an extra G sharp on top of it. So it sounded like this. And then on top, I discovered that I could pretty much just play this chord on top of both of these chords. And I think, yeah, to an extension this one, but I wanted it to end in a different way. So I just decided to do a little bit of an arpeggio. So I would go. And I thought that sounded great. So I would add in these drums and bass, and I would make this jazz-esque little piano song. Of course, with a bit more varied instrumentation than just a piano. So yeah. And I really fell in love with that chord progression to the point where I'm using it on the new project too. So anyway, let's listen to this. Enough of me blabbering. You can hear that riff. It's actually a direct copy of the intro to Ode to the Front Lawn. I was struggling with this transition, and I ended up with this, which sort of like just cuts it out, and then it starts the drums of the actual chorus to the song. What happened? Oh, there we go. I also delayed some of the chords to make it more jazzy. Some of the chords happen a bit earlier than they should and a bit later than they should. Now, class, does that sound familiar at all? It should, because it is the same chord progression as You're Taking This Well, but I'm Taking It Better. That's kind of what I wanted, because the two big songs, and the two singles that I released for this are Ode to the Front Lawn and You're Taking This Well. And I wanted both of them to be, referenced here. So I had the opening to this one, but I wanted to do something special with You're Taking This Well. And I thought, why don't I take that weird chord progression, which is with that A major that doesn't really belong there. Why don't I take that chord progression and make it actually resolve? Like, make it sound normal, as if there's, like, been some, like, closure to the story. So instead of making it, I would then have it change to be this. And I wanted that. I wanted that to feel like that's sort of like the big that's the big moment, other than the big moment in A Story Told Only Once. I wanted that to feel like that's the note I want to leave you on with this album. I want you to feel like, okay, this weird thing that happened in my life, I've experienced closure for it. That's sort of what I wanted that to be like. You can even hear that original riff. it sounds like it's resolved, and that's what I wanted. Then you go back to this jazzy thing. I'm really proud of this chorus section. I think this song is my favorite song of all the ones that I made for Lovetale. But I don't regret not including it on the original Lovetale. I also didn't finish the song in time for the original Lovetale. A little bit of a cutout there. I wanted to end it like as I was talking about with the title of the song, that like do I have, and then it goes back into and then it goes into the real sickness. I also wanted it to for the song to end the same way that the real sickness starts. To see that fully resolved, you're just gonna have to wait for the next album to come out. But I wanted that song to feel like, okay, this is the end of the story. This is the fully resolved piece. And then I wanted to end it being like, okay, this is resolved. This is done. What's going to happen next? And I wanted it to sort of clue you in as to what's going to happen next. So yeah, that is Lovetale Deluxe. That's the 2 extra songs on there. I'll link both Lovetale and Lovetale Deluxe in the description. Thank you for watching. Yeah, subscribe. Woo!